This is Jessica J Herrera, author, artist, and storyteller, and this is Una Plática.
Una Plática.
Una Plática.
Es una plática.
Say plática.
Una Plática. Una Plática.
Who inspired me? I would have to say my mom. She's very creative. I remember one of the very first pieces that made me very inspired was this kite that she was building with my sister, and it was just so out of this world and creative. It was literally a brontosaurus with the big red logo on it, and it just inspired me to say, if she can do that, I bet I could do it just like her. I started creating my art probably in kinder. I didn't really focus too much on school. I just really wanted to draw things, especially the Ninja Turtles. My culture is really the Tejana life, growing up, hearing the music, living in, honestly the South Side, but now it identifies as a South town. So, honestly, I love, really hearing about the roots of my family, and we come from, generations here in San Antonio. And really, I grew more or less through the Tejano culture, and, but I do my best to kind of learn and educate myself about other cultures that inspire us here, especially in Texas. But that's more or less my roots. The West Side, the East Side, that's where my parents, are from. And, but yeah, I've lived from the Southtown kind of area, or I've come from the Southtown kind of area. I definitely believe that it is very, very, very important to have certain, areas where we can express ourselves, where it's just honored. I feel like this whole organization is just a blessing for our community, to keep our culture alive, to keep our traditions alive, and to just be a constant, reminder to the upcoming youth of who we are, who we will be in the future, and to never forget. My favorite thing about San Antonio art is that we're so diverse. It's like they bring the worlds to us. All over the world, we get to see so many different things that come now to San Antonio, when really it's taken time for us to evolve to be more diversified. But I truly appreciate it. And we open all different kinds of art, with open arms here in San Antonio. So I love that. I would like to impact people and inspire people to, especially for people going through depression, to get through the day. And I choose a lot of very fluorescent types of colors. And it's really about looking at me and inspiring people to just get through that tough day, to get them to tomorrow. I'd have to say my mom. She's single mom. She grew us up. She was so strong, and it kind of, she was her own kind of superwoman, coming from the West Side, bringing us to, Southtown, and just providing us with a better opportunity and means of living, but also never letting us not express ourselves, and allowing me and supporting me to evolve when it comes to my art. I would say keep going. You might hit a slump, but keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop your practice. Don't stop your techniques. You will only be better. pieces are a black and white series. And so we're going to start with Sting, or Stinger, the professional wrestler. Growing up as a kid here in the South Side or Southtown, I always admired him. And just one random day, I had found out he was coming here to our city for a signing. And so I had my lunch hour and I decided to go ahead and make a piece. We got it to him, and his reaction was just, he was astounded by it. And, that always just, makes me so very happy to know that you get that kind of reaction from someone from a professional, like, sports world. And so, but yeah, that's my piece. And so my next piece is based off of Terrifier Art the Clown. And that piece, I also had discovered he'd be coming, David Howard Thornton, who plays Art the Clown in the Terrifier series. And there was just something so, as someone who's admired spooky films, I fell in love with the concept of this boldness of saying absolutely nothing, of being a mime and being terrorizing and letting the body work speak for itself. And so I did that piece. Once again, like, getting his reaction was amazing as far as that. And so my final piece is of Doyle from The Misfits. And, there was just something that inspired me, like, to paint him and capture, almost like, the mosh pit riots, and really just try to, have that statement of my bold signature of my neons in comparison and clash of the usual black and whites of just, the kind of like the dark punk scene that is the Misfits. So I had that work signed, also a very cool reaction. And honestly, it's just amazing, and it still gives me, goosebumps just thinking about sometimes where people just don't want to sign my work because they're scared of messing it up. And but that is my series, the black and white series. And but I'm, once again, I'm still always looking for more inspiration, more muses for me. And so The Last Lechuza is my most recent book. It's been a book that I've been working on for the last 2 years. And it's very set in a world here in San Antonio, talking about making a chingona bruja, one of the best of the best. But she's not just from a Lechuza clan. She's also a healer. So there's a big dynamic there of, the good magic and the not so good magic, and really just being challenged and also finding yourself, but coming along, growing up, and dealing with different various warlocks and monsters. And I thought, if anything, I'm going to base, my characters, I always usually base them here in San Antonio because I always want to represent, I'm so proud of this city in so many different ways. And, but yeah, that is my latest book, The Last Lechuza.